I've gone from having chaotic weeks because I wasn't planning at all to trying every planner and method out there, and it never really quite stuck. But after a lot of tweaking and refining, I have finally dialed it down to a simple rhythm that takes me about 10 minutes every Sunday. It's time tested and it sets our whole week up to run so much smoother. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my exact 3-step process so that you can plan your week in just 10 minutes too. Every Sunday, I sit down with a nice hot cup of tea and I spend just a few minutes getting my week out on paper. I don't use a fancy planner. I use a simple $12 notebook that I've used for a while. I've grown to really treasure Sunday afternoons because I make all the heavy decisions on Sunday in a short amount of time, and then I just move through those decisions throughout the week. So let's start with that first step, which is align your week. Before I plan a single meal or a task, I need to go ahead and look and see what's already locked in for the week. So I'll start out this whole process by opening up Google Calendar, and I transfer from digital to paper. I like to transfer from digital to paper because throughout the week, I actually don't like having to look at a screen in order to know what's going on. This makes me a whole lot less distracted. I can open up my notebook and just see what's on for the day. I get locked into the task that I'm there for and I move on. So it saves me a lot of time throughout the week if I take it off of my digital calendar and put it on paper. I open up to a blank page and I write down my week at a glance. I write down the dates at the very top, and then I write down the days of the week vertically. This is just how I do it. On each little section for each day, I will write down appointments, any outings, play dates, extracurricular activities, whatever that I already know need to happen on each day. I also like to write a couple of other things that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But practically, doing this keeps me from planning an unrealistic week. If it's a busier week due to appointments or extra outings that I've already planned way in advance, I know as I map out the rest of the week that I need to leave a margin where I can and try not to add anything extra if I can help it. And for us, we have a lot of littles. Overbooking the calendar is just not helpful for anybody. And just as a side note, if you use paper instead of digital from the get-go, this totally works too. I used a paper planner for a while and loved it. The only reason why I went to Google is because my husband and I wanted to be able to share a calendar so that we can very easily be on the same page and know what's going on for the week. So that works for us, but if you already use a paper calendar or you want to grab one, you can easily use that as well. It's the same process. With the week mapped out, I don't stop there. This next part is what keeps me from having that 4 p.m. what's for dinner scramble. By the way, if you want help creating rhythms like this for your home, I created a free masterclass that will help walk you through this step by step. You can grab that down below. Next step, I plan our meals because for me, dinner tends to make or break the day. Personally, I love waking up already knowing what we're going to have because the decision's again already made. I like this because I actually like to prep dinner a little bit throughout the day. Nothing big, but just to make it less overwhelming for me in the evening. If you're curious, I thaw in the morning. I just grab the meat out of the fridge or the freezer. And then at lunchtime, I chop up vegetables or do some kind of prep if I can. And then I assemble everything around dinner time. So for me, that personally helps. I love breaking things up. And having it planned ahead of time makes that possible for me. When I actually sit down on Sundays to do this, I flip over to a meal list. This is why I love notebooks because you can customize it however you want. So for me personally, I like having an easy list of things to choose from, of meals that I know my family likes. It's not going to be a fight and I don't have to brainstorm too hard over and over again. It's just already on the list. So I will either go to my survival mode meal list, which is a short rotation of very simple, easy to cook meals, or I have a meal list where there are a lot more options, but they're still go-to meals that we like in the Mefford family. So I'll pull from that and add it to my week at a glance. Personally, I like to write dinners for each day. I don't write out lunch or breakfast. Another thing for me that's helpful as I'm thinking through the week is I will plan meals around our busiest days. So if I know it's going to be an extra busy day, I'll do tacos or I'll do something in the crock pot. Once I'm finished with planning out the meals for the week, then I will build my grocery list directly from that. Generally, I know what we have on hand, but if I need to, I'll go ahead and get up and go look in the fridge or look in the pantry and see if I've run out of an ingredient. But as I'm writing out the dinners for the week, I'm thinking through what ingredients do I have? What ingredients do I need? And I just immediately flip over to my shopping list and go ahead and write it down there so that I don't have to think about it later. As an added bonus, if I have time or if I have the desire, I can go ahead and put a grocery order for pickup for later that week. This whole process saves me a lot of decision fatigue throughout the week. And quite honestly, another benefit is that it saves money because we're not making multiple trips to the grocery store. I'm not impulse buying. We're not having last minute takeout. So with meals set and the week mapped out, the last thing that I do is tie it all together. And this is the part that keeps our home running smoothly even when life is really, really full. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Lauren. I'm a homeschooling mom of 5. And here on this channel, I help Christian homemakers build systems and routines that actually fit your life and your home. Whether you homeschool or not, work out of the home or not, this is meant to help everyone across the board run their home efficiently and with joy. If that sounds like something you need, go ahead and like and subscribe so that you don't miss my weekly videos. Let's get back to it. This last step is what ties it all together and really keeps our home running no matter the season. This little binder here ties everything together for me. This is where I hold my weekly theme days, my home systems all in one place. So I like to reference this last. I don't have every single routine or system memorized, so it's helpful for me to refer back to this whenever I'm planning for the week. If you don't know what theme days are, it's basically where you group a bunch of tasks that are related on one day. So for example, you could have an office day where you do budget bills. You could do kitchen day where that's when you do your baking, so on and so forth. And I get into that a little bit more in other videos. I could try to find one and link that down below. But having theme days helps you know where certain tasks live so that you're not constantly trying to accomplish everything every day. This helps you move through this week in a very focused and intentional way. It also helps you not feel so overwhelmed with all the tasks that have to get done. So when I'm actually at the point of pulling this binder out, that means I am not really looking at the week overall. I'm now looking at Monday. So in order to plan for Monday, I basically open up to a blank page. I write Monday at the top of the page, and that's where I'm going to write out my to-dos for the day. So I'll flip to my weekly theme day, which for me, office day is my Monday. So I'll flip over to my office day task menu of things that I can rotate through and take care of. And I'll pull 1 to 2 of those tasks off of this list, and I'll write it down in my notebook to get done on Monday. At that point, I'll glance at my rolling to-do list, which I have one for every month, where I write down miscellaneous tasks that have to get done. I cross it off as I go. If there's anything that makes sense for me to get done on Monday without packing it too full, I'll go ahead and write it down. So between pulling from my home management binder and pulling from my master to-do list, I only pull a few tasks because too much on paper means that nothing's going to get done or I'm just going to be stressed out. And we all know that life with children and life in the home can be very unpredictable at times. So I don't want to set too high of expectations. I typically only try to have 1 to 2 priorities that absolutely have to get done. If those get done, awesome. Anything else is a bonus. If the bonuses don't get done, then I can either get it done later on in the week or it just moves over to the next week's theme day. If you're new to this and you don't have systems like this in place, simply start with a rolling master to-do list. Write a list on a page in your notebook or in your planner of to-dos that you would like to get done throughout the month. And then as you're sitting down to do your Sunday planning, pull from that to-do list and add it to your Monday. But if you want to go beyond having a rolling master to-do list, I'm going to pull from my binder here and set up systems like this where you have weekly theme days and rotating systems in your home that help you get things done in a non-frantic, but in a really intentional and calm way. Don't forget about that free masterclass. It is a little longer. In it, I'll walk you through step by step how to build some of these systems for your home. It's totally free and you can grab that down below. So that is my simple 10-minute Sunday reset. It's simple, repeatable, and it seriously keeps our home grounded all week long. If you found value in this video today, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. And I would love to hear from you. If you have any tricks or ideas of how to do this better, anything that really helps you prepare for your week, let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one.